Welcome to your tutorial on how to start your background reading to find your answers for your iSearch project. As we get started today, you're going to need to have two tabs open. The first one is your pre-note taking worksheet, and the second one is the Brookville High School Library website. The address is here, so if you'll pause the video and go ahead and get those two tabs open. As you are putting in this address, please make sure that you do the same capitalization so that it will take you to the right site. So go ahead, pause the video, get those two tabs open, and come on back and join us when you're ready. Okay, so at this point, you should have completed your pre-note taking worksheet. You've got some things that you know about your topic, you've got some things you don't know, and then hopefully you tried to group similar information so you have some good questions here. What we're going to do now is start looking to see what kinds of information is out there. We're not quite ready at this point to start actually taking notes, but we want to see what's out there and available and start gathering our sources. So you're going to walk through this with me today. First thing I would like for you to do is in your pre-note taking worksheet, in your third column, your what I want to know about my topic, I want you to go ahead and select all of your questions, however many you have, and I want you to copy and then come on down to your next page. If you need to, you can hit enter or change a few things if yours looks different than mine, and paste your questions in. Okay, so your questions are now in two places. They're in your third column here, and they're on your second page here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start looking for answers to these questions. And we're just going to see what's available for us on the internet right now. On the library website, if you're looking at the student page, there's a button right in the middle at the top that says Research Sources. And if you click that button, a bunch of different sources are going to pop up for you. These are all very good research sources. I'm not telling you that you have to use these, but as an alternative to Google, these are kind of really good ones. They're ones that I've grabbed from the internet for you guys. So you can click on any of these buttons to open these up. And I also have Wonderopolis, which you guys are already familiar with, saved on our Symbaloo here. So I'm going to start with Wonderopolis. I'm going to use my pre-note taking worksheet to guide my search today. So here are my questions. My topic is infant care. My questions are important events in babies' lives, what you can do to aid in your baby's development, best foods to give to my baby, and best schedule. So I'm going to come over to Wonderopolis, and I'm going to explore the wonders. And I'm going to use the search bar feature, and I'm going to just see what they have about babies. Okay. When I come here, this Can Babies Be Movie Stars really doesn't match anything. This one about why don't we remember being babies might actually help me with those developmental questions. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to spend about 5 minutes just kind of generally looking at the information. I am not going to read every single word here. I'm going to scroll through and kind of read the highlights. So I'm going to read the questions. I'm going to kind of read the beginning of some of the paragraphs. I'm just kind of looking at the highlights of this article. I am not reading every single thing, but I'm spending about 5 minutes doing that. I'm doing this faster for you guys so I don't bore you by reading it out loud. This article actually does have some answers to my developmental question. So I'm going to click up here in the URL bar. I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to come over here to my pre-note taking worksheet, and I am going to put this website underneath the question that it answers. So this one helps me with my development question, so I'm going to hit enter and then tab. So I have a bullet underneath and tabbed over, and I'm going to paste my URL in. When I hit enter again, that URL is going to turn blue, which means it's a link that I can use later. Okay? So remember that some Wonderopolis, this one actually didn't, but a lot of Wonderopolis articles do actually have extra sources included at the bottom. So those Wonder sources, you are welcome to click on those and you can actually get more sources for your information. But you're going to just kind of follow this process where you're going to search, spend about 5 minutes looking over the article, and then either save it or keep moving. This article, for example, about what controls your breathing, does not help me answer any of my infant care questions. So I am not going to save this article. I'm going to keep moving. If Wonderopolis doesn't give you anything, that's fine. You are welcome to just use Google, or you can use these research sources that I've showed you here. I'm going to show you this one with SweetSearch. SweetSearch is a really nice search engine that only finds good websites. So they actually employ a team of people who check the websites ahead of time to make sure. So I'm going to look at, for my last question, best schedule for your baby. I use this just like Google, and I search. Ads are going to be at the top, but I scroll down here and I can see some other options. This one has a chart. It's got a little video. I could spend some time watching the video. I spend, again, about 5 minutes. I shouldn't rush through this, seeing what's generally here. And if I think it's going to be a good source, I copy it. I bring it over. I hit enter and tab, and I paste it in. Okay? Guys, the process of background reading should take you more than one single class period. A lot of times people ask me, how many websites do I need to have underneath each question? And that is very different because everybody is doing different topics, and so your questions are all different. It's hard for me to answer that question. The best advice I can give you is to have at least 2 websites underneath each question, but don't limit yourself to that. The more you find right now, the easier the next step is going to be. So if you have gotten 2 underneath each question and you still have like 20 minutes left in class or something like that, keep searching, keep copying and pasting in those URLs because it's going to make life easier for you in the end. The other question that I get pretty often, and this is a really important one, is let's say that this website not only told me about the best schedule for my baby, but also told me like around the age when babies should start to sleep through the night. So that's an important event. So it kind of answers this question and this one. If that happens, that is absolutely okay. That's actually a really good thing. You can just paste the same URL in underneath each question. Okay, so if this one answered every single one of my questions, I would paste that website under every single one of my questions. Okay, so now you guys are prepared. You know where you can look. I would start with Wonderopolis, and then I would use some of these, but you can also definitely just use regular old Google. Start looking for answers to your questions, spending some time seeing what that website has to offer, and then pasting those URLs in here. Again, minimum of 2 per question, but I would get more because it definitely does make our next step easier if any of your websites end up not working out. Remember, you can ask me or your English teacher for help if you get stuck. You can rewind this video and rewatch any parts that you need. But when we look at this section of your pre-note taking worksheet after this step is done, we should see lots of websites underneath questions tabbed over just like this. Good luck, and let me know if you have questions.